the enthusiasm and excitement of Australian rules football. Statistics prove that in proportion to population, the Australian game of football has more followers than any other sport in the world. Why is this so? Perhaps the captain and coach of the famous Essendon team in the Victorian Football League can tell us. Here is a player who has won 3 Brownlow medals, football's highest award, played 319 senior games, a record, and coached his team Essendon to 4 premierships, played in and captained many interstate games. Let's hear from Dick Reynolds.
Since I was a lad, football has always been in my blood. No other sport could give me the excitement, the thrills, and in spite of occasional worry, the real happiness that my football career has given me. And it's the same with every player of this great game, every supporter, the loyalty to the team, the combined efforts of the officials, players and staff, all centred on one thing only, the winning of a premiership flag. This film you're about to see captures, I think, the magnificence of our Australian game. There's no doubt about it. Looking back on my 18 years with the Dons, I can honestly say that this, my last year, saw behind me Essendon's greatest team for Essendon's greatest year. And it was a fine season for our grand final opponents, North Melbourne. 1950 was the first time in the history of their club North had played off for the title. I hope you enjoy this film of the 1950 Essendon North Melbourne Grand Final. Every time I see it, will remember it was my last game. A flood of unforgettable memories will flash through my mind. Memories that could only come from being the proud captain and coach of Essendon.
And so the stage is set. Just on 100,000 people are ready to witness the 1950 Grand Final. So big is the crowd, they're on the oval. Just you watch them. They're sandwiched between the fence and the boundary line. The umpire with club officials is taking the footballs to the captains for final selection. The teams are receiving final instructions in their dressing rooms. The atmosphere, it's tense with expectancy. Finally, through the streamers, platted with the club's colours, the teams break through as they run out onto the mighty Melbourne arena. Firstly, Essendon. And now North Melbourne, led by Captain Les Foote. The coach of the North Melbourne team is Wally Carter. He's the man behind the gun. Players, officials, and supporters stand for the playing of the national anthem. And now the captains toss for the privilege of deciding which way their team will kick. Dick Reynolds wins the toss. Umpire McMurray bounces the ball, and Essendon ruckman Bob McClure secures the knockout, which is intercepted by North Melbourne's captain Les Foote. He gets the first kick of the game. But here we see Les Gardner for Essendon brilliantly defending. And now here's the first goal of the game, kicked by Essendon's champion full forward John Coleman. Number 10, leading goal kicker for season 1950, with a grand total of 120 goals for the season. Up to the centre again, Collins palms to Rover Hutchison. Hutchison kicks on to centre half forward, where Bill Snell takes a remarkable mark. Here's another hit out by McClure to Hutchison, who breaks away cleverly and drives the ball to Harper on the half forward flank. Harper fails to take the mark, but recovers quickly, secures possession, and beautifully short passes to skipper Reynolds, who takes the mark. Reynolds takes his time here, about 30 yards out on an angle. North Melbourne fullback Jock McCorkle on his mark. Here he goes for the kick. And through it goes for full punch to Essendon. Ball up again. It's forced out towards the outer wing. Collins, Essendon, secures and kicks to the half-forward flank, where there's a melee from which a free kick is given to second rover McEwen. McEwen is being assisted up now by teammate Jack Jones. McEwen drives the ball down to the goal base, where eventually Hutchison, in an endeavour to score, kicks the ball right over his head. Here comes Bill Hutchison now. He kicks the ball right over his head. Here we see half-back flanker Ted Jarrard for North Melbourne. He kicks to the centre, where strong play eventually brings a free kick to Essendon centreman Alan Dale. There you see Dale on the ground now. Young Dale goes back for his kick. Hutchison comes in from half-forward flank to intercept and gets a free kick here for interference. North Melbourne rover Rob is on Hutchison's mark, and his kick just misses. It goes through for 1 point to Essendon, but every point counts. Jock McCorkle, North Melbourne, kicks off from the point just scored by Bill Hutchison, and here we see clever play by North rover Rob to vice-captain Dynan, to wingman Mackenzie, to half-forward flanker Condon, and back to vice-captain Dynan, showing meritorious anticipation. But Essendon relieve here through centre half-back McConnell and half-back flanker Harold Lambert. Essendon ruckman Wally May makes no mistake in hitting out from this bounce. Hutchison luckily manoeuvres the ball to Reynolds, who tries to find the full forward John Coleman. But relief here for North comes through good anticipation by McCorkle at fullback. His long kick, it's a beauty. It goes right to North's half-forward flank, from where eventually Jock Spencer, North's full forward and runner-up to John Coleman, scores a goal for North. Yes, it's through for full points. North get away from the centre this time through ruckman Brooker to Foot to Pee Wee Condon. Just watch this play. Condon here gets a free kick for interference. He goes back to take his kick, and there you can see Skipper Foot giving instructions to Pee Wee, that's his nickname, to have a shot for goal. His kick is screwed. It gets past May, then McClure, defending for Essendon. North's vice-captain Dynan secures, and he makes no mistake with another goal to North Melbourne. McClure, you will have noticed, was rather disappointed when tricked by the bounce of the ball here. From a scrimmage in the centre, Collins of Essendon marks. Keith Mackenzie is hand-passing the ball to Collins. A nice left-foot drop kick by Collins places Essendon in attack. But Pat Kelly, North's back pocket defender, he gets possession of the ball, and in trying to force his way through is held by Bill Hutchison, a free for holding the ball. The Essendon vice-captain takes his kick. Malone, North rover, is on his mark. Here it comes. Up it goes, but bad direction, out of bounds. On the throw-in, Dynan gets the ball. Watch him cleverly balk here, the skipper Reynolds, and pass the half-back flanker Les Reeves, who marks. He plays on Les Reeves, and his left-foot kick goes astray in the centre. And here we see Dale, McConnell and Lambert, Essendon, Condon, Malone, Foot, North Melbourne striving for the ball, which eventually goes to young Dale. Dale ducks here, taps the position, passes to centre half forward, but North Melbourne relieve, and Dynan passes to Les Reeves. Here it comes. Reeves' pass is intercepted by Syme of Essendon, whose left foot pass to Dick Reynolds leaves the skipper a fraction out of scoring range. John Reeves is on Reynolds' mark. Dick's kick to Coleman was taken by North's brilliant half-back flanker, Ted Gerrard, showing great anticipation. Coleman on Gerrard's mark. Here we see Jones, Essendon, Mackenzie, North Melbourne flying for the ball. Mackenzie prevents Jones from marking, and here comes young Dale again, and he gets a free kick here for interference. Nice knockout here a little later, but right into the hands of North centre half-back Dodger Ryan. Dodger's balk and clearing kick sends North right into attack. Marchese, half-forward flank for North, gets it both ways. A mark and a free from that dashing half-back flanker, Norm MacDonald. Spencer, North full forward, gives Marchese the lead. It's kicked over his head, and relief for Essendon comes through Les Gardner, out of bounds. And here's McConaughey, in his typical hunch style, trying to secure possession. He fails, it's in the centre again, and Dale just misses an opportunity. And here comes Dinan. He gets a free for a push in the back from McEwen. A nice drop kick here from Dinan finds Robb. Marchese with a left foot pass to a hurried lead now by Jock Spencer. Spencer misses. It's Marchese again. He kicks, and his short pass is intercepted by McConnell of Essendon. McConnell kicks a lovely pass to Reynolds. Just watch this pass by McConnell to his skipper Reynolds. But here's good football. A ball in front of him, so a quick punch by Collins is taken by Ryan, North centre halfback. There's no quarter asked here. Umpire McMurray blows whistle for ball up. Quick disposal here by Harold Lambert to Hutchison, who's caught in possession by Dodger Ryan of North Melbourne. Just watch this play. Yes, it's another free kick to Dodger Ryan of North Melbourne. It's a great kick here by Dodger Ryan and is held safely by Chukwame, a magnificent mark for Essendon. Fine ruckman and defender, this boy. It's Dinan now in possession, right to the goal base where Brittingham, Essendon's fullback, he sets himself for a clever mark, which he never leaves in doubt. Brittingham's transfer from full forward to fullback has found for this player his true position. Goes back to take his kick. Brittingham's long kick is brilliantly marked by North wingman Mogg. He plays on, but spoils great play with a kick out of bounds. Now the throw-in proves the uncanny understanding between Foot and Dinan of North. Foot to Dinan, back to Foot. Foot punt kicks, and in front of all opposition, here's Brooker, North ruckman, to take a mark. Just watch it. Only second year in league football, this boy, and he's really a find for North Melbourne. He makes no mistake with this kick, and it caps a series of brilliant moves on North's part. Back to the centre. Thornton for North gets the hit out. It goes through the pack. Gerrard gains possession, and he gets a free here for interference by McEwen. Rugged player, Ted Gerrard, for North Melbourne. A long kick by the half-back flanker goes to North's half-forward line as the bell rings for the end of the first quarter. With the scores, Essendon 7-3, 45 points. To North Melbourne, 4 goals straight, 24 points. The second quarter begins with a knockout by McClure. It's sharked by Dinan. Dinan's left footer goes towards Marchese and Robb for North with Gardner and MacDonald in defence. Gardner outmaneuvers Robb, and he clears to Collins on the wing. Just watch this play. Collins takes the mark, plays on and finds centre half forward Bill Snell. A few minutes later, here's Jock Spencer kicking a goal for North with a long punt from about 50 yards out. Yes, his kick is true, right through for full points to North Melbourne. From the bounce, Brooker gains possession, punches towards Mackenzie. There's crowded play here. So ball up from umpire McMurray, who had good charge of the game. Malone breaks clear from the ball up. His left footer finds Marchese, who is grabbed by McConnell. Marchese's punch goes to Dale, Essendon, who quickly kicks to Snell, who outmarks Gerrard. A bad kick by Snell is taken by Robb, whose clearing dash and kick almost goes to North's half-forward line. Dale eventually secures, but his kick is too wide. And here's North's back pocket player, Pat Kelly, looking for a teammate. Just watch this play. He eventually finds his teammate in the person of Ted Gerrard with a screw punt over his shoulder. There's the mark. As play progresses, here's Mackenzie's North winger with a left foot drop kick to Spencer. Brittingham is following his man and gets a free for holding the ball. Now watch his kick. It's a beauty. Right to the outer wing. May fails to hold the mark, but hits the ball over to Essendon winger Chris Lambert, who can't get to it. It's kicked off the ground by Bob Brooker, North ruckman, but is marked in defence by Les Gardner. Here's another good kick. That's nearly marked by Dick Reynolds, the skipper. Mackenzie secures from the pack here. He hand passes to Rob, whose drop kick from an angle goes through for a point only. Here's Rob with the ball. He kicks it, and there's the point. Now here's Norm MacDonald in action. Kicks to Snell, who receives a penalty free from Gerrard. A bad kick here by Snell, now feeling the effects of an eye injury, is taken by Kelly, North's back pocket player. Here's Collins breaking clear. He looks for his teammate Jones, kicks a shade too high, and Ryan marks. A long kick by Ryan, and Spencer dashes out, but he's held on the arm by Brittingham, and a free kick is given by umpire McMurray, with Essendon endeavouring to break clear. Spencer kicks a point only, and here's Brittingham unguarded, taps the ball on his foot, gains a 10-yard break, and with a mighty kick finds tall, rangy Bob McClure, who marks safely. I want you to note this, some really good handball. Gerrard to Kelly. Kelly to Ryan. Ryan kicks to the centre. And there's a scrimmage. Condon gets it from the scrimmage, passes to Mogg, who gets a free for a push in the back. Mogg goes back to take his kick. Goes to North centre half forward position, where McConnell gets a free 4-1 in the back also. Here's Coleman at his brilliant best. Yes, he takes a fine mark there with some clever juggling. Another beautiful kick by Brittingham, almost to the wing. Chris Lambert gets it, left-footed to half-forward line, where Les Reeve beats Hutchison to the ball. I'm confusing these foots here. Putting the ball, and Les Foot, the captain. Reeve's kick goes to the centre as the half-time siren sounds. It's been a very hard game to date, this, the North Melbourne Essendon clash at the Melbourne Oval. The game is still anybody's. And here the players are leaving the field. North Melbourne and Essendon. And there they are, the scores at half-time in the 1950 Grand Final, Essendon and North Melbourne. The Dons 7-6-48 to North Melbourne 5-5-35. The umpires take the field for the second half of the 1950 Grand Final. And here comes Essendon. Lehane has replaced Snell. Essendon is injured at centre half forward. Received a bad eye injury in the first quarter. North Melbourne now still feeling that flag can be won. Here's the bounce of the ball. Syme, McClure, Hutchison in the ruck for Essendon. Reeves, Thornton and Malone for North. Syme hits the ball clear of Reeves to Hutchison. Hutchison hits on with right hand over his head. Foot North skipper endeavours to clear, but is caught in possession by Dick Reynolds. Reynolds plays on with a kick to the half-forward flank. McEwen takes it, although tackled by Gerrard, breaks clear, only to screw an attempt past the Jones, Essendon ruckman. Jones, not to be denied, pursues the ball and kicks to Norm MacDonald in an effort to open play. And the move is successful. Here is Dynan with a long punt trying to find North's forwards. Haddle Lambert of Essendon relieves. Game player this. He goes back for his kick. Passes wide to Hutchison, who takes the mark. Malone, North rover, on Hutchison's mark here. Quickly puts the ball into play. The Essendon vice-captain's kick, however, goes towards the centre, but there's a battle royal between John Reeves and Chris Lambert. Chris gets his left foot to the ball, and the mark is taken by Jack Jones of Essendon. And it goes through for 1 point. There's a slight drizzle now. Jones is wearing long sleeves. There it is, 1 point to Essendon. McCorkle's kickoff is marked by Bill Hutchison. Bill goes back to take his kick, trying to find a man in scoring zone. And it's fumbled by Ted Lehane. Bill Hutchison's kick. Les Reeve clears for North Melbourne. And here's Dale placing Essendon once again in attack. He's got the ball, he kicks, but unfortunately it goes out of bounds. Back to the center. McClure gets the hit out, and Hutchison, in everything, secures, gets clear, and his left foot pass is marked by Reynolds. Lehane endeavors to make position for a mark within scoring range, but Ryan, coming from behind, punches the ball out of bounds. Now here's a masterful piece of handballing by North skipper Foot for the throw-in. Through the pack he finds Dodger Ryan, whose clearing kick gets to the center and is taken by North centre-half forward Frank Jeeves. His play here is magnificent. His kick, which deserved a better fate, is marked by McDonald for Essendon. Here now is John Coleman, Jock McCorkle watching the fluctuating play. Ryan to Foot. Foot plays wide to Les Reeves. And here we see Les Foot receiving attention from the trainers. Reeves passes to Mackenzie. Mackenzie marks. But McClure holds the ball safely in defense for the Dons. Bob McClure takes his kick. He short passes to Skipper Reynolds, who juggle marks as the siren rings for the three-quarter time scores, which read Essendon 10 goals 11 behind, 71 points. North Melbourne 7-9, 51 points. 20 points the difference. Both sides fully appreciate the 3 minutes rest. Here's Les Foot. John Reeves. Dinan in the background. Bob Brooker. Here now is Essendon. There's Skipper Reynolds receiving treatment. Les Gardner. Bluey McClure. He looks confident. See the V side. There's John Coleman. That popular halfback flanker, Norm MacDonald. Bill Brittingham. Les Gardner again. Bert Harper. Jack Jones. McConnell in the rear. And here's Bill Snell's beautiful shiner. Just look at it. He receives commiseration from Jack McMurray Jr., Ace League umpire. McMurray calls the teams together, and here he is bouncing the ball for the final term. It looks mighty interesting as North, a little over 3 goals down, have the win for the last term. Can they make up the leeway? A beautiful knockout by McClure is picked up by Reynolds. McEwen misses the mark. The ball hits the open spaces. And here's Hutchison in pursuit. But Reynolds, you'll notice, gets a free kick here for a rather nasty knock. Tempers are frayed, but quickly under control. Yes, the skipper is just a little groggy, but he's looking for that ball. Ted Gerrard will be on Dick Reynolds' mark. Here's the kick, and Reynolds' kick is nearly marked by John Coleman. Coleman falls to the ground and grabs McCorkle's foot as he gains possession. A free results. McCorkle's kick goes to the center. But here's Syme in possession with a hurried kick, which is marked by Ted Lehane of Essendon. Lehane goes back for his kick. Ball is in readiness in the scoring zone of Essendon. There it goes. But here you see magnificent relieving by Jock McCorkle, the fullback for North Melbourne. Example of backing up it. Gerrard's kick, McConnell and Jeeves rise for the mark. But here's Norm MacDonald with quick anticipation clearing, and again to the wing where Collins marks, and Mackenzie tries to spoil. Collins plays on, bounces the ball, a left foot drop kick, and here's Coleman flying high, but failing to hold the ball. From the pack it comes, and Lehane passes to McEwen, who's kicked nearly to John Coleman. At North's goal, the behind is forced from the pack. And here's Jeeves. He's trying to kick towards North goal. Syme gets the ball, and in trying to break clear to Foot and Spencer, is grabbed round the neck. A free results. Spencer there, you see, retrieves the ball. Punches to his skipper, Les Foot, who in turn throws the ball to Bob Syme. Syme kicks. It's a long one. Eventually gets to Reynolds, who kicks into scoring range. And here's Gerrard and Les Reeves, Lehane and Harper. They're going to battle for the ball, which finally is forced out of bounds. Yes, the forcing out of bounds is through Dodger Ryan as Gerrard attempts to find him. Here's another attack by Essendon with Hutchison in the vanguard, but rugged play by McCorkle relieves for North. Here we see Dinan cleverly making position, taking an easy mark. Gardner is on Kevin Dinan's mark. He punts towards goal, where 19th man Lawrence, who replaced Thornton, fails to mark. Condon picks up and punches on, but Brittingham, with another mighty punch, finds Robb, who falls. Les Gardner falls over him. Robb gamely recovers, kicks out into the open spaces, where McDonald fails to get to the ball. But here you see some more backing up. Yes, here comes Bill Brittingham backing up. He comes through. He taps the ball to Les Gardner, who smartly gets out of trouble, dashing down the field. He clears with a long punt as the sun comes out again. Chris Lambert punches the ball onto McEwen as the final siren sounds with victory to Essendon. It's a grand sight. The crowd runs wild. Can you blame them? Vice Captain Hutchison runs up to embrace his skipper, Dick Reynolds. The crowd wells around this great skipper, and the players, you'll notice shortly, carry him shoulder high from the ground. This is a magnificent sight. What a grand exit from the Australian game of football. And what a great year for Essendon, the mighty Dons. A premiership flag to the first, second, and third 18s for the first time in league history. There is North's captain Les Foote smiling in defeat as he leaves the ground. And so another premiership has been won and lost. The crowd are leaving the Melbourne ground. Soon Essendon's victory, 13 goals, 14 behinds, 92 points to North's 7-12-54, will be but a memory. But it will be a mighty memory of a mighty game, Australian football.